Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is part 2 of the sweetheart set, and we are going to be learning how to make two garments at the same time, and that is the short and the skirt. And this video is going to be showing you how to make both. So I posted this pic a while ago and I asked people which they would prefer for their sweetheart set, and on Instagram I got more votes for a short, and on YouTube I got more responses for a skirt. So I decided to do a tutorial that combines both so that you can learn how to make both in this same exact video. So this is going to be first a skirt, then I'll teach you how to turn it into a short. As you know, this pattern doesn't work up really fast, so I'll do a demonstration with a smaller garment so that we can capture everything on camera. So let's get started. For the materials, you'll need a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, and yarn. And for the yarn, I'm going to be using the same exact yarn that I used for part 1, because it's a full set. So I'll be using Robin 100% acrylic, and I'll be using 2 colors. So this is the short that I made, that my model Alicia was wearing in the photo shoot. But we're going to be learning how to make the skirt version first, because it's more direct, and then later on I'll show you how to transform that to the shorts. So let's begin. I'm going to start off with the color white. I don't know what you guys chose for your colors, but for me I chose white and red. And I'm going to start off with white as my foundation chain. So you're going to take a measurement around your hips. So I'm going to be considering, for the short that I showed you, I considered a measurement of 40 inches. So for this, this is going to be a demonstration. As you know, this stitch doesn't work up really fast, and we may take a very long time trying to make something that fits like a human body. So I'm going to start off with a chain that's a multiple of 6 plus 1. So make sure the measurement you get around your hips, that's what you're going to consider, but then the chain should be multiple of 6 plus 1. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's 3 times. That means this is 18. 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's 24. 1 2 3 4 5 6. That is 30. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 36. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 42. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 48. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 54. And 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm going to be doing a demonstration of a chain of 60. Of course, this is not a human body. As you can see, the ring is very small, but go ahead and make one that fits around your hip measurement, and it's a multiple of 6. So this is 60, which is a multiple of 6 plus 1 chain. So I have my chain of 61, and after this you're going to just make sure your chain is not twisted, and you're going to bring it back to the very first chain that you made and make a slip stitch in the very first chain. So here we are, we have our ring. So this ring should be able to go through your hips comfortably well. So my 61 chains, and then I've slip stitched into the very first chain to make a ring, to form a ring. So we are going to pull this up a bit. If you've watched the top tutorial, you know what this means. We come back to it and use it later on. So you're going to pull it up a bit and leave it like this, and then you introduce your second color. And for me, my second color is red. So you're going to introduce your second color. The first thing that I'm going to do is to chain like that, make a slip knot. Then you're going to go into that very chain where you place the slip stitch, there in that very first chain, and then attach that slip knot there, and then you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're going to go into that same exact chain with a total of 4 more double crochets. So the chain 3 counts as one of the double crochets, so that means the very first chain is going to have 5 double crochets. Make sure you don't lose this loop. It should be long enough so that you can find it at the end of the red row. So we have our 5 double crochets, which include the chain 3 and 4 more double crochets, all in the same chain. And then you're going to chain up 3, skip the next 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th you're going to make a total of 5 double crochets. Like that. And then you're going to chain up 3, skip 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th you're going to place 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that's the repeat for this round. Chain 5, skip 5 chains, chain 3, skip 5 chains, and then in the 6th chain you place 5 double crochets. So go ahead and complete this round, and I'll meet you back at this point where we started our red round from. So we are back, and I've gone all the way around, and I have a total of 6 chains left. They're supposed to be 5, but I think I miscounted, or I had to do a multiple of 6 without the 1 chain, but that doesn't matter. You're going to chain up 3, and then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 at the beginning here. So the very first stitch of your round, so on top of the chain 3 you're going to make a slip stitch. So insert your hook, pull through, and pull through all. So that marks the end of the first round, and the second round is going to be white. So you're going to pull this, leave it. So at this point I want to point out a few things. This will be the right side of your work, the side where you've worked the red round. The right side of that round is going to be your right side, and then the behind is going to be your back side. So after pulling this and leaving that loop there, you're going to find a middle stitch of these 6 chains. They're supposed to be 5, but if they're 6, just locate one of your choice that's in the middle, and then you're going to grab this loop and pull it through. we're going to be working this skirt on only one side. We are not going to keep turning every other round. So I've pulled through the loop, the white loop that we had left behind, and now I'm going to grab my white, because now I'm going to be working white. So you ignore red and then grab white, and then you're going to chain up 5 like that, and then you're going to go into the same exact chain with an elongated double crochet. So the chain 5 counts as an elongated double crochet, chain 1. So you go back to that same exact chain and yarn over, pull through. It's like you're going to work a normal double crochet. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, but then it's the elongated double crochet. So you yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So that's the elongated double crochet. So ignore this loop, we shall come back to it later. So you're going to chain up 2 and then count to the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets. So we have a chain 3 here, which counts as 1 double crochet. Then this is the second one, and then this is the third one. So you go into the third one and place a single crochet, and then chain up 2. And then now at the base here we have 5 chains. So the exact middle one is this one, the third chain. So you're going to do an elongated double crochet in that chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2, and then chain 1 and do another elongated double crochet in the same exact chain. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So we are doing these V stitches. They are like V stitches in the exact middle stitch, in the exact middle chain of the chain 5 at the base. So that's the repeat for this round. Chain 2, single crochet in the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets. So 1 single crochet there, chain 2, and do a V stitch of elongated double crochets in that chain, separated by a chain 1 in between. So an elongated double crochet, I think by now you know what it means. Yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then chain 1 and another elongated double crochet there. So this is how your work should look like. Chain 2, and I'm going to go all the way around repeating this until the end of my round. So I'm trying to really simplify this for you guys, because I don't want to cut my yarn every other row, because we shall have so many loose ends to weave in, and then sometimes if you don't know how to go about it very well, the work ends up being shabby. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here. We shall be working our rounds without cutting the yarn. Shall just be carrying on with the previous yarn. So go all the way around doing the V stitches, and then I'll meet you back at the end of this round. Very last V stitch of the round, and I'm going to chain up 2, just like we've been doing before, and then go into the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets, make a single crochet there, and then you're going to chain up 2, and then what I like to do is to count two chains from this side, 1, 2, and then into the third. So 1, 2 into the third here, you're going to place a slip stitch, and that marks the end of this round. And you can see the hearts starting to form out, though the very first round of hearts is almost like the heart is split into half horizontally. So the next round of red will bring out the full hat, so no worries. After this, you're going to pull through this. You pull it up so that you don't lose it. And now we are going to go to the red round. And you know that the 5 double crochets are supposed to be placed in the V stitches. There, the V stitches are these elongated double crochets, chain 1. Those are my V stitches. And then I have a red loop here. So the closest V stitch to the red loop is this one. You bring it through this stitch where you placed the slip stitch. There. Where you placed the slip stitch, pull through that red loop. Like that. So make sure you don't tamper with the shape of the skirt. Just pull through that loop, and then you're going to chain up 3, and that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And then you're going to place 4 more double crochets in that V stitch. So we have a total of 5 double crochets, including the chain 3 that we did at the beginning. Like that. And then you're going to chain up 3, go into the next V stitch. You're going to skip all this and into the next V stitch, 5 double crochets. Chain 3, 5 double crochets in the next V stitch. So the V stitch is the chain 1 space in between the elongated double crochets. That's where you're supposed to place your V stitches, your 5 double crochets, sorry. And you're going to go all the way around doing this. Chain 3, 5 double crochets in the next V stitch. So go ahead and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. So right now I'm placing my very last 5 double crochets in the last V stitch. And this is how your work should look like. After this, you're going to chain up 3 and place a slip stitch on top of the chain 3 at the beginning of your round. So the third chain is this very first chain 3, and you're going to place a slip stitch there, pull that loop up, and now we are going to the next step. The next round should be white. So this is round 3, because this was round 1, the red round. The white at the base was the foundation chain. So round 1 was the red round, round 2 was the white round. That means this is round 3, and now we are going to round 4. And for round 4, you just go into this space, that space there, and pull through the white. Abandon this and grab the white now. You pull it a bit so that it can get onto your hook, and then pass it through this space on this side, on the right side, and then pull this out of the way. And you're going to make sure you don't pull it so much. Remember, there's this, so you're just going to give it just some distance. Don't worry about the disorganization it makes at the back. We shall work over it and it disappears. So you just grab the white loop on this side and then chain up 5. So this is my first chain, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first chain is not that tight, because if you make it tight, that means the skirt is going to keep pulling close. So after a chain of 5, you're going to go into this next space, which has that string crossing over to this space. So chain 5, go into the next space with an elongated double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2. So this is what we have right now. You can see that you don't even suspect anything that went on here, any mistake or anything weird. So after this, you're going to chain 2, go into the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets and make a single crochet. Chain 2, go into the first space. There's this space and then there's this space. So you go into this space on the right with an elongated double crochet, and then chain 1 and go into the next space with an elongated double crochet, like that. Chain 2, go into the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets with a single crochet. Chain 2, elongated double crochet in the first white space. Chain 1, elongated double crochet in the second white space. So this is what we have. You can see these elongated double crochets are like boundaries for each and every heart. So it's like they are guarded, the heart is guarded by these stitches on the sides, and then the V stitches create that sharp shape at the base of the heart. So we are going to go all the way around. Chain 2, single crochet in the middle double crochet of the 5 double crochets. Chain 2, elongated double crochet in this first space. Chain 1 and another elongated double crochet in the next space. So that's all you have to do for this round. You're going to go all the way around and I'll meet you at this point. I've gone all the way around and I've chained 2 after my single crochet here, and right now I'm going to do my slip stitch. So I told you I count from here 1, 2 and into the third. Sorry, I count 1 and then in the second one I'm going to place my slip stitch, because this is supposed to be a chain 1 in between. I think I made a mistake also here when I was explaining this, but this is supposed to be a chain 1 in between. So you leave the chain 1 and then in that second one on the right side of your work you place a slip stitch, and that marks the end of round 4. And now we are going to round 5. Round 5 is going to be the same exact as round 3. So you see this chain 1 space, they are no longer V stitches as such. It's just elongated double crochet, chain 1, elongated double crochet. But that's the same exact spot where we are going to be placing the 5 double crochets of the next round. You go into that stitch, that chain where you place the slip stitch and pull through that loop. So we still have that distance there, and then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You can notice that the very first chain is also not tight. That helps not to tamper with the shape of the skirt. So you're going to place 4 more double crochets in the same exact chain 1 space. So that means we have a total of 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space. Chain 3 in the next chain 1 space in between the elongated double crochets. Place a total of 5 double crochets. And we are going to repeat this all the way around. Chain 3 in between the elongated double crochets. Place 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So go all the way around and finish up this round. Round 5. around, and we are going to chain up 3 and go into the very top of the very first chain. So in the 3rd chain you're going to make a slip stitch, pull this loop up, and you're going to keep repeating the same exact rows. So we repeat row 3 and 4. So after this you abandon this and go into this space, pull through that white loop, make sure it's on your hook before you pull this side, otherwise you'll lose it and it undoes this side. So you pull that, pull through the loop, but make sure it's not like very tight, and then you're going to chain up 5, which counts as an elongated double crochet, chain 1, and then go into the next space, which is this one, and place an elongated double crochet. Pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we are going to do the same exact thing that we did for row 4. So chain 2, single crochet in the middle double crochet of the 5 double crochets, like that. Chain 2, elongated double crochet in the first space. You have to be very careful because the yarn can get twisted. Chain 1 and then elongated double crochet in the next space. So that's what we have. It's going to be a repeat of only 2 rows all the way down until you get the length of the skirt that you want. So the other thing that I wanted to point out is you can notice that we can only achieve the hats facing the right direction when we are moving upwards. So that means this skirt is worked from the bottom going up to the waistline. So that's what I wanted to point out. That's why it was very hard for me to do the shaping of the short, because we start from the bottom upwards, yet the shorts require shaping from the base. So we are going to go ahead and keep working this until we get the length that we need. Then after that I'll be showing you how to work on the waistband. So I'll be pinning the timestamps for the rows that you have to repeat so that you don't get lost or get confused about how to start the rows, because that's what usually confuses people. But I'll be pinning the timestamps in the comments, so you just go there and tap and you can see how to start the different rows. So all the red rows will start the same exact way, and then all the even rows will start the same exact way. So taking off the first 2 rows, which were just the foundation, from row 3 and 4 we are going to just keep repeating those same exact rows until you get the length that you want. So keep that in mind. There's nothing really hard about that. So let me go ahead and finish up this round, and then I'll be showing you how to make the waistband, because this is going to keep growing and growing, and that means the waistband is going to be up here because we want the hats to face the right direction. If we put the waistband here, that means we are going to have inverted hats, which we don't want. We want the hats to face upwards like this. So that means you have to first get the length that you want, and then you put the waistband up here. So let me go ahead and finish this round, and then I'll get back to work on the waistband. I've gone all the way around and it's the end of the white round. I skip this first chain here and go into the second with a slip stitch, and that marks the end of the white round. So you're going to keep building your skirt until you get the length that you need, just repeating these 2 rows again and again. Just keep alternating between the 2 rows, the red round and then the white round. Remember, the red round forms the hearts, the white round forms the boundaries of the hearts. So after this, I'm assuming you've gotten the length of the skirt that you want, because I'm not going to keep building this yet. We are repeating the same exact rounds. So assuming you've gotten the length of the skirt that you want, you will chain up one and cut your yarn, because you have to end on the white round. I forgot to mention that. Make sure you work, but the very last round of your skirt should be white. Then you pull through, but then remember we still have a loop here of red. Now that's the color that we are going to be using for our waistband. So this time we are not going to be attaching it in this space. We are going to be attaching it in this space. So put your hook through and pull this, but leave some space so that it can go to the next round. So chain 3. After you chain 3, you're going to place another double crochet in that same exact space. So you have a total of 2 double crochets, and then go to the next space and place 2 double crochets. So when you get to the elongated double crochets in that chain 1 space, you're going to go in with 2 double crochets, and then the next space 2 double crochets, next space 2 double crochets, in between the elongated double crochets 2 double crochets, next space 2 double crochets, and we are going to keep repeating this all the way around our work. We are going into each and every space with 2 double crochets, but we are not working anything in the stitches, just in the spaces. So this is what we have, and go all the way around your work until you get to this point. So I've gone all the way around and I've placed my last 2 double crochets in between the elongated double crochets, and we're going to go into the very first chain 3 that we made with a slip stitch. So that marks the end of the first round of the waistband. So this should bring you back to the original number of chains that you did that wraps around your hip. This should be the same exact number of stitches. So I had 60 chains around. This should bring me back to 60 double crochets. So that helps us to keep track of a skirt that can pass through your hips, or a short if you're making a short. So after this, we are going to row 2, and you're going to chain up to 3 front post double crochet in the next stitch. So you push this double crochet to the front, and then back post double crochet in the next stitch, and we are going to keep alternating between these 2, front post and back post double crochet all the way around like this. And this is round 2 of the waistband, and you're going to go all the way around until you make a slip stitch in the very first chain 3 that you made. And round 3 will basically be the same exact as round 2. You chain up 3, place a front post double crochet in each front post double crochet, and a back post double crochet in each back post double crochet all the way around. So the waistband is going to be made of 3 rows, 3 rounds, and at this point I can introduce the bigger version of this. I wanted to just work with a smaller version because we could see everything on camera, yet the bigger one, it would be like off camera. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is the waistband. You will do front post, back post, front post, back post, for a total of 3 rounds for the waistband. And then you put a drawstring in every 2 stitches. 2 stitches you pull through your drawstring in there. This helps us to gather the waist and create a better shaping for our skirt. So you have to put a drawstring in there. This creates a better fitting for crochet garments. If you don't have this, then you can go for an elastic band inside here so that someone can get a better fitting for their skirt. So that marks the end of this. And so right now we are going to the making the shorts, a simple booty short for our sweetheart set. So we're going to be transforming this into the shorts. So the instructions that I was giving first were for a skirt, and now for the shorts I did a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 hats. I'm considering this half hat one of the hats. The half hat is the very first row of red. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I did a total of 10 hats, and that fits a size medium. I would consider maybe 9 hats for small, 8 to 9 hats. Medium, 10 hats. Large, you could go to 12 hats. And then XL, you could go to 14 hats to create a better coverage for your butt, because this pattern is worked upwards. So you have to be very careful when it comes to the number of rows that you do towards the upper side, so that you don't get too much exposure at the base, because we're not going to do hats facing downwards, because this pattern grows upwards. So let's get back to our sample. Imagine I'm done with my waistband and now I have some sort of skirt, because this is exactly what you're going to have, but in a bigger version, of course. So you're going to grab your red, make a slip knot, and now the thing that you're going to do is you're going to locate the exact middle of your work. 1 2 1 2. So the exact middle of my work is this. I just got one of the V stitches here, and then the one that matches it on the opposite side. So this is the exact middle of my work. And then I put my slip knot through, and I chained a total of 30. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 and 30. And then I'll put my hook on the opposite side, the middle side of the opposite side, and I make a slip knot. So that will create the separation of your legs. Of course, this is not proportional to such a small garment, but I'm just giving a demonstration. Keep that in mind. So after this, you're going to chain up 3. 1 2 3, and we're going to first be working on this leg, and then we shall come back to this leg. So after a chain of 3, you're going to go into this chain 2 space. There's a chain 2 space here. You're going to place a total of 3 double crochets. Then move to the next chain 3 space, which is after the 5 double crochets, and place 3 double crochets. So I went ahead to do 3 double crochets in each and every chain 2 space. You can see that, until I got to this chain that I did in the middle of the legs. And when I get here, I'm going to place 1 double crochet in each and every chain. for a total of 30 double crochets, because we have 30 chains. Double crochets in the middle. I'm going to slip stitch into the very first chain that I did, and this is what you will have. I told you we are first working on this leg and then we shall come back to this leg. So after this you're going to chain up 3, and you're going to place 3 double crochets in each and every stitch all the way around. Doing 3 double crochets in each and every stitch, and that will create the ruffles on our shirt. You can see that wavy pattern, and continue to do that all the way around. Three double crochets in each and every stitch below. So I'm doing 3 double crochets in each and every stitch, even including the stitches that are in between the legs, and this is what I'm achieving. You can see the truffle pattern trying to come out, and we're going to go all the way around until the end of the row, and at the end you'll place a slip stitch in the very first chain 3 that we made. And at this point you will get something like this. You can see these ruffles at the base. This is exactly what I did for my shirt, and this was enough coverage for me. But if you feel like you're still getting exposure around the butt cheeks, then for the next round, if you want to create more coverage downwards, but it's going to be in ruffle form, for the next rounds down you can do like 2 to 3 more rounds if you need to cover yourself up a bit more. You just do rows of double crochets, 1 double crochet in each, starting with the next round after this. This is the only round where you place 3 double crochets in each stitch, and then from there all the next rows you just place 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way across. The ruffles will remain. We shall just be creating more coverage around the butt area if you don't need like a booty shirt. So that's how I created my shirt. And after this, because right now I'm on one side of the shirt, this is what I'll have. And after this I'll do the same exact thing that I've done on this side. I'll go to the row that has 3 double crochets in each chain 2 space first, and then I'll do 1 double crochet all the way in the middle of the shirt, and then I slip stitch, and then I start this round of the ruffles, which is 3 double crochets in each and every stitch. So the length of the shirt is entirely going to depend on what you want, but this is exactly what I did. I just did 2 extra rows for my shirt. The row that has this, and then the row of the ruffles, and that's it that I did for my shirt. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, because it's a 2-in-1. You're learning 2 garments at the same time, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.